Americans are pissed at Donald Trump, according to a new poll. Could this mean that Americans are finally done with Republicans? I think so, because judging by shopper behavior on Black Friday, I think Trump and the Republicans are in major trouble in the upcoming elections. And there are a lot of data points I can use to prove it. I'm going to unpack all of that and more in today's video. So buckle up, subscribe with the bell so you'll be the first to know when we post. This is Cameron Williams, and welcome to Pragmotiv News. So who knew that when you elect the person who made the mess to clean it up, the mess gets worse, not better? It never ceases to amaze me that the Republicans can royally fuck up very publicly, and then the American people will, for whatever reason, somehow forget what happened and then fall for the Republicans' version of events. Like, come the fuck on. It was Donald Trump who fucked the economy up by mismanaging the pandemic and then left Biden to deal with it. It's funny how everyone seems to remember how good things were in 2017 and they got a stimmy check in 2020. They act like that wasn't Barack Obama's booming economy Trump inherited in 2017 and that Kamala Harris wasn't the one who offered the bill that would have given them $2,000 a month during the pandemic. You need to thank Nancy Pelosi for that $1,200 because Republicans didn't even want to give that. She had to fight for it. All Donald Trump did was sign the motherfucker. They gave Trump so much unwavering support for $1,200 funk ass dollars, but because he put his name on it. And y'all fell for the clickbait thinking that he was solely behind it, when in all actuality he wasn't. But then they conveniently forget that Joe Biden and the Democratic trifecta government gave another $1,400 check in 2021. I want to say that was around April. That Trump mismanaged pandemic disrupted the supply chain, and that led to the inflation that we are currently dealing with now. All of that could have been avoided if he had simply opened his mouth before March and let us know about it and not politicize it like he did. He opened his mouth about everything else. Lies, spewing hate, Bubba. According to Google AI overview, U.S. intelligence officials were aware of the emerging coronavirus in Wuhan, China, as early as November 2019. And this information was included in intelligence reports circulated to U.S. government policymakers. However, reports indicate that then President Donald Trump did not receive a specific detailed briefing on the issue in November, but rather in early January 2020. Now, to me, that sounds like a bunch of bullshit, because if that's true, then that means that he's not running shit and not doing shit even back then as president of the United States. Because there is no way that a normal president wouldn't be briefed on something as serious as that for 2 months. Whatever the case is, he knew before everyone else did and didn't say nothing about it or do anything to prevent it. Just think if we had that much of a heads up. The pandemic wouldn't have been that bad. The subsequent economic turmoil that we're still facing now wouldn't have happened. And maybe 1 million Americans who died from COVID would still be here. The economy hasn't gotten better with Trump as president like everybody thought it would. It's actually gotten worse. There is no better data point to prove that than good old consumer behavior. According to Google AI overview, on Black Friday in 2024, people bought toys, entertainment items, jewelry, and clothing. That was under Biden. You want to know what they bought in 2025? A damn refrigerator. People bought refrigerators and vacuum cleaners and other things that they didn't used to need Black Friday for. Black Friday is when people would normally buy Christmas gifts for their children and family. There's going to be a lot of sad kids this Christmas because instead of parents buying dolls and such, they bought refrigerators. And we already know Trump's sentiments on the matter. He said kids don't need $30. Watch him.
Open. Well, maybe the children will have $2 instead of $30, you know, and maybe the $2 will cost a couple of bucks more than they would normally. But we're not talking about something that we have to go out of our way. They have ships that are loaded up with stuff.
As if anybody was buying fucking $30. So now a lot of kids are probably not going to have any presents for Christmas. Now, I already know there's going to be some Trumpsters going down in the comments talking shit and agreeing with what Trump said, saying, oh, refrigerators are more expensive, so that means people have more money if they were able to buy that. Save your fucking breath, because the data shows the method of payment isn't normal credit cards, mostly, like it used to be. And it damn sure ain't debit cards. The method of payment is buy now, pay later. So in Trump's America, people now have a refrigerator note. So you got car notes, house note, and now a refrigerator note. That would be okay if that actually freed up people's finances to still be able to buy toys for their kids, but no. They just don't have cash for any of that. It wouldn't surprise me if people use the buy now, pay later method to buy second refrigerators and chest freezers to stock up on meat to save money, because the way things are going, things are going to get more expensive than they already are. So that's reason number one as to why this new Gallup poll shows Donald Trump's approval rating underwater by 22 points. Because he said he'd bring the prices down on day one. And they didn't do nothing but rise since he's been in office. I find that the mainstream Republican media likes to report things in a silo, because this article from The Hill, referencing a different approval rating poll, said that his poll numbers are slipping because of the economy. While that may be true, I want people to remember a lot of things can be true at the same time. I refuse to be like the mainstream media, so I will connect the dots on things that the media chooses not to. The economy is reason one as to why his approval rating is bad. Reason 2 to 1,000 is every fucking thing else he's done since he's been back in office. Like ICE raids on innocent people when he said he would only go after the criminals. Him being in the Epstein files. Him and his administration starting more wars instead of ending them. Case in point being this potential war crime committed by Pete Hegseth. Because even before this latest thing about it came out, it still wasn't popular. So his approval rating is in a free fall because he keeps doing unpopular shit. So speaking of Hegseth, let me end with this. I've always been a military buff. I'm proud of the men and women who serve. And I've spent years studying how our military works. Everything from the chain of command to the nuclear triad, and how the branches interface with the president when orders are given. But now that Donald Trump is back in office, and especially with Pete Hegseth being Secretary of Defense, that knowledge has me genuinely concerned. Seeing what Elon Musk did with Doge in the government, that makes me wonder who was pushed out of the military and who replaced them. Because the order Hegseth gave should have been refused outright. It violated international law and the Geneva Conventions. That is by definition a war crime. And for that alone, Hegseth should be impeached, convicted, and removed from office, then sent to prison for what he did. What's even more alarming is Trump's response to it when questioned about it.
Can we talk a little bit about the strikes and the controversy around Secretary of Defense Pete Hegseth?
I don't know anything about about it. He said he did not say that, and I believe him 100%.
So you don't know if there was
You're talking about the two men?
the second strike to kill the
Yeah.
two men.
No, he said he didn't do it. He said he never said
Would
that.
you be okay with that if he did?
He said he didn't do it, so I don't have to make that decision.
What do you think on the Venezuela boat strike? If there were a second strike that killed wounded people wounded in the first strike, are you
Well,
thinking
number one,
that
I
would be
don't.
legal?
Yeah.
You
Number
think that's
one, I don't
illegal?
know that happened. And Pete said he did not want them. He didn't even know what people were talking about. So we'll look into it. But no, I wouldn't have wanted that. Not a second strike. The first strike was very lethal. It was fine, and if there were two people around. But Pete said that didn't happen.
Does that make you?
I have great confidence.
He's saying there's no second strike?
I don't know. I'm going to find out about it. But Pete said he did not order the death of those two men.
I don't know. His patented answer, I don't know. You are the president of the United States and you don't know that the military is striking shit? So that leaves us with only two possibilities. And neither is good. Option one, Trump is lying and he actually condones the action, which would make him complicit in a potential war crime. Or option two, the military acted without orders from their commander-in-chief, which would mean Trump is a powerless figurehead and the military is going rogue. Either way, the situation is dangerous for the United States. Like, comment, subscribe, and follow at Pragmotiv News everywhere to stay pragmotivated. Also, find us across every major platform like Spotify, Apple Podcasts, Audible, and iHeartRadio so that you can listen to us even on the go. So head on over there now and leave a review. It really helps us out. And until next time, peace.